Hi guys, how are you? It's great to be online. We started this podcast, a video podcast, and what it is basically is three of us are friends. We're artists, and we have decided to come together and share our experiences as artists. So my name's Dave Benning. I'm a custom artist from Vancouver. I've been doing it for many years in Vancouver, and I've learned a lot, and I'm willing to share all that. So I want to share my techniques. I want to share some of my style, some of the work I do, some of the hurdles I've had to cross, and I'll pass it on to Aronde, which is right over here, and he's going to explain to you where he's from and what kind of stuff he does too. So it's a little basic intro to everyone. So, Aronde.
Yep, I'm Arande Kyrie from out of Philadelphia. I'm in my studio now. I'm an independent artist, which means I basically just sell my work on my own, even though I have some gallery representation, but most of the things that I do is based off of my own merit. Yeah.
Cool. And Cynthia?
Hey, I'm Cynthia Burnett. I live in the News Bay, BC, Canada, and I'm a licensed artist and illustrator. I have a background in graphic design, which is how I met Dave and Dave through different medias. And I just want to talk about what we're doing since we're all quite different, but we all kind of are in the art business doing different sorts of things. Like I do licensing, so I can talk about tips and tricks for licensing and share things about Procreate or different things that I'm working on, just things that you guys might like to know as well as anybody else.
Absolutely, and that's the best thing about it, right? Is I'm here to learn just as much as I'm here to share. So us sharing our experiences. I mean, we've known each other for a long time now, and we started interacting a lot more just recently. And one of the reasons for me is since I've been a full-time artist is it's lonely in the studio. I'll be straight up. I've been doing it for like 3 years now, and I came from a very social job, bartending for years, and then all of a sudden I come to one man in the studio, and it's been exciting and great, and yeah, it's great to be an artist for sure, right? There's the freedom and the creativity of it all, but there is the whole side of isolation and loneliness in the studio, and not being able to feed off other people to get creative ideas. So I feel that's definitely one of the things. I know, Aronde, you're in Philadelphia. I know you have a lot more to do with galleries and exhibits and stuff like that. So and how do you feel in the studio?
Oh, it's the same. Isolation has always been a part of creating. I think even being when I used to have a studio, in college with probably like 15, 16 students. But when it was time to dive in, it's still a whole bunch of isolation. But the thing that I had then was just the atmospheric surrounding the people, which was cool. And now I'm in my studio and it feels like maybe like 14 people left me. I got all this space to myself. And it gets a little sometimes you can get in your head, but once you start really diving into your work, that goes away. But then once it stops, you're back to that. So my whole idea too was just to be around people again. That's why I started reaching out to you again, Dave.
Yep.
Because you just need that. You just need to be around other people to understand you.
Yep.
And a lot of times when you start getting around people that's not in your field, period, whether it be whatever it is, but definitely in the art case, you gotta feel like you're still talking to a brick wall because people don't really understand what it is where you're coming from.
Your struggles with the materials and everything. And Synth, I mean, on the island. I mean, you moved to the island. Obviously, it's a little bit more remote than the regular city. So, how's your experience been? How long have you been out there now for?
Yeah, well, we moved to the island in 2020, and before that, I was self-employed since about 2008, I think.
Wow.
I quit my last job, and so working on my own is fine, but you get a little too used to it, and then you start getting in your brain and going, "Oh my God, what am I doing?"
Yeah, a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Talking shop with people like, "Hey, I found this really cool paint marker," and you can tell your partner all about it, but they're like,
Yeah.
and then glaze over like another art supply.
I know.
So it's cool to talk to you guys about it and say like, oh, we can get into the kind of paint that we use and like why we love one kind or over another or something like that. And you guys get it.
Yeah,
It's that magical feeling of walking into the art store and like,
it's like you're back around your family again.
Art store. Yeah, it's like wow.
Yeah.
It's super exciting, and and like you said, I mean, I can't really talk to my wife about viscosity of paint and transparency of paint and how come this doesn't stick to this and stuff. Like she's like, whatever, figure it out. But I'm like, I've got to, and it's great to bounce ideas off. There's only so much you can get from scrolling, right?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, scrolling's fine. It's great. It's you can be inspired by seeing other people create stuff. And my favorite videos, I don't know about you guys, but my favorite videos art videos and stuff is process.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I love
absolutely.
it when you see like the blank canvas and someone's doing it, and it's not AI. You can see them do it with their hand, or someone making miniatures, or someone to let everyone know this isn't about just us and our mediums.
Oh yeah.
This is about any kind of art, So whether you make miniatures or you print T-shirts or you whatever you do, it's all art, right? So and that's what we want to encompass in this. Even though we're coming from three different perspectives and three different, you got 3D art, right? I mean, that's amazing. Those 3D models made from Aronde's paintings, which is incredible. I'm interested to find out more about that kind of stuff as well. So for me. I started painting 2D painting. It's just painting flat canvas. I realized once I went full time, and I was kind of forced into full time because of COVID. So it started, kind of slow for me, and it was a big adjustment from a super social job to just this creativity. And it's exciting for the first little while, but after a while, you're like, oh my God, like this is real. I've got to do something. I've got to make some money here. I've got to try and be creative and stuff. So I just started trying to reach out to different mediums and different surfaces and stuff. And now I'm painting footballs, I'm painting typewriters, and it's just grown and blossomed from there. But one of the main things I've learned is anything can be painted on. So that was very exciting for me to have that realization because. Oh my God, anything can be painted on. I'm painting on 1930s movie reel cans or, anything, it's exciting. So, it's the kind of stuff I want to share with you guys and share with everyone as well. So it's good. Synth, I know the licensing thing is a super complex world. Anything you'd be able to share with us of that in during this podcast thing would be super invaluable to anybody who's just starting out in textiles or patterns or greeting cards and stuff like that, which is the commercial aspect is huge, right?
Yeah, and it's not as easy as people think. Like I'm lucky that I have an agent, but a lot of people don't. So you kind of have to think about that aspect and how long things take. Like most companies are working 2 to 3 years in the future. So stuff you see in the stores right now has been decided upon 1, 2, 3 years ago. So you have to kind of work with them and plan ahead and plan accordingly, and your income doesn't start coming until your products start hitting the shelves and manufacturers have placed orders. So it's a definite long game, and there's lots of little things in there that you kind of need to be aware of before you kind of delve into it. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna be rich right away, this is a overnight sensation. It's like no, you gotta kind of put your work in and show that you're able to work well ahead in the future and be willing to have a consistent style over a long time so that the clients get to know you and work with you.
Yeah. I mean, and even just having an agent, that's a whole different game in itself. I have no idea what it's like to have an agent. That'd be another interesting topic for us to talk about one day. Just how to choose an agent, how to trust an agent, that kind of stuff. So, and it's obviously mutual respect that they must love your work to be able to represent you properly, right? Because you got to be passionate about what you sell, right? So that'd be interesting to find out that dynamic at some point too. So. Around the digital art, man. I mean, I knew you when we were painting, and now you kind of really transitioned into the digital art world, man, and you're getting really, really tight at it, man, and it's exciting to watch.
Well, the beauty about being here at the studio is that you get a chance to see that it's really both. You know what I mean? I didn't leave one for the other. I
Right.
just added to my repertoire, and like I'll be showing you how you can incorporate both because I don't consider myself a full off digital artist.
Right.
I just look at everything as a tool,
Yeah.
and I can understand the need for a Procreate because you can just go everywhere, and then when you get back into the studio,
Yeah.
either you can go full on digital or you can do mix. And I want to really dive into all of that and show that one is not, better than the other, but it's what you really learn from years of experience that's going to push you even further.
Yeah.
So yeah, hmm
Yeah, no,
yeah,
totally. This is like I said, a basic first intro to everybody. So
right,
hope everyone. But I mean, I want to talk about other stuff that we have planned that we can offer on this to, for people to tune back into. Um,
mm,
I know the first episode might seem a little dry, a little slow, and everything, but we just want to introduce ourselves and just kind of let you guys know what we're all about and what we want to plan with this. We don't plan on becoming smartless and becoming the biggest podcast in the world or anything, but we want to build a nice community for any level of artists, and
yeah,
what our goal is to have other artists on. So there's one more space down there. We can put a 4 in there, and we just want to invite another artist on just to talk about their craft, their stuff they do. I know some really cool artists, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys do too. So I'm sure we'll have some really interesting people in, and we're not just talking painters and illustrators. We're talking musicians and anyone who creates art, right? So
right,
anyone who could be an inspiration because the music world and the art world is very similar. You play all the rough gigs before you get the break, right? So it's the same. You put the effort into the canvas and the paint and all this kind of, and you put it in. You put your heart and soul into something, and then it's like, it's like
yeah,
we shared that reel the other day, and it was a classic. You pour everything you have into it, 100 hours into it for 5 likes from your friends,
right,
and
hmm
one, it's like, and
yeah,
that's how it feels sometimes, right, for artists,
yeah,
right? So not everyone's going to have that viral moment, right, where is that what social media is all about? Is that everyone's going for that holy grail of that viral moment where they just throw something up that might not even have anything to do with
mm.
their art, but it kickstarts them into something. Who knows, right? But
It's interesting to see to talk about because it's really learning how to gauge with that, right? Because one time at one point I had like out of the blue a 500,000 views
yeah,
and then slowly watching it go down. And it took a minute to where it's like normal again. But it reminded me of something Prince said about Purple Rain. He was saying that he knew those 12 million people wasn't going to come after Purple Rain was done. So that's why he went right back into the studio. And just the 2 million people that will follow him, he
right,
knew that's his core audience. So
yeah,
that's kind of like this thing was going on with social media. You get those big moments, but it's up to you to capitalize in that and really just figure out why you even trying to do what you're doing.
yeah, yeah.
Do yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my following's not huge, but it's been consistent,
Yeah,
and I know my people are real people on there,
right.
I hope, for the most part. I know a lot of them are friends too, which is great, and I love that, so the family support, and that's what you need that, right? But I'm looking to branch out and hopefully, tap
Mm,
into different markets and different things. So,
sure.
and social media is obviously it's always it can free you, but it can also chain you too, right? It's
Mm,
like
mm.
it can keep you small sometimes, if you pour all your effort into that.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, and I think that there's something huge to be said for, like, Aranda, you do a lot of gallery shows, and that's pinnacle because when people see it on a 2-inch screen, you can't
Yeah,
appreciate it. When you walk
yeah.
into the room and that painting hits you, and it's like,
Uh,
wow, that's 48 inches. What? Yeah, that's wow.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
it just hits differently, right? So to,
Mhm.
to, to get your work out there and to physically be seen is important, I think. And
absolutely.
yeah, it's super important. There's only so much you can do on social media, I think.
And that's what I mean. I think you hit it on the nail when you were saying like some people get small. You get social media makes you small because you're relying on that. I have friends to say, well, I gotta post more, do all this stuff, but it's like, do you really? Do you have to post more, or do you really don't forget about like Cynthia said, it's commercial jobs out here. You have to really learn how to talk to these people. COVID made you go out and have to deal with this art world.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You have to deal with people because people giving you jobs, but it's like, how did you even muscle up the verbiage to talk to these people? You were bartending and now you're doing art.
Yeah.
But it's still all communication with people. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Synth, I mean, you do the markets now, right? Which is a great way to be seen because it's the
Yeah.
physical stuff. People can see it and touch it instead of buying it from a photo online and
Yeah.
wondering what they're going to get, in the mail. It's they can see it and physically see it and touch it and fall in love
Yeah.
with it and buy it off you, right? So that's huge for you, right? It's
Yeah, and
really
it's also like that, but I also love seeing people's reactions to things.
exactly
And
Bingo.
live reaction, right?
it's
Yep.
always something you'll do that you're like, oh, this is gonna sell right away.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And someone
the
else will buy something that you thought was really like, oh, this I don't really care about this, and they'll fall in love with it and take it home.
So,
And it's just all the different comments and different people coming through that you'd probably never meet in real life.
totally.
Yeah.
You kind of
Yeah.
comment and say, "Oh, I love this," or "Oh, what are you doing?" So it's good
Yeah.
to gauge
Yeah.
kind of what you should go forward with as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people aren't so quick to criticize in real life, are they? It's easy to
Oh,
hide
yes, they
behind.
are.
Are they
Oh,
really?
yes, they are.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I thought maybe people might behave themselves a little bit.
Oh, no, no, no,
It's
no.
beautiful, right, Cynthia? Because
Oh,
I had
yeah. Yeah, I've gotten lots of like, I do some art with swear words on it, and I get a lot of dirty looks sometimes.
listen.
But a lot of people laugh, but it's a lot of people will come up and say, well, I could do that. And it's like, why aren't you doing it?
But you're not, right?
And see, and that's the whole thing of art, right? Is like it's like you never know who's going to like what. I mean, you can see some stuff out there online, and it's like some of the craziest stuff, and you think, wait a second, is that? And then people are like, I love that. And
It changes your perspective big time.
Totally.
Like I stopped. Well, I was never really like that anyway, but for sure, being outside at these fairs, Cynthia said it. It's like the customers will let you know what's the real deal.
Right
You know
there.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I had somebody in the back of me. They were whispering and talking about me, and I said, "Well, I'm right here." And they started. They said, I said, it's okay to have an opinion. You're not offended me either way. You might like something, you might not. I don't like everything that I do, but you know what I mean. And it's good to have feedback because you do go back and say, "Oh, I remember they were saying something like this." Now, I'm not going to be a slave to it and try to create everything that I think somebody want to see, but it is helping you because when you go back out there, it is really about trying to find an audience.
Yeah, it's that live feedback, right? I mean, someone could think twice about what they say online because they could type it and erase it. But when you say something from the heart, that's the real reaction. So, what's that? It's like, or something like, oh my God, I love that,
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the art game. I tell you, it's exciting. It's exciting for sure. But I don't know how we're doing for time here. Yeah, we got a couple minutes here, but I just wanted to thank you guys for doing this, and I'm excited about hopefully putting up a little episode every week, and we're going to try and commit to it. Anyone who's listening and watching out there, we really want to share stuff. We're going to do demos. We're going to show our own work and stuff that we're working on and how we do it and how we get there. And this is just our initial introduction. So, we're really nice to meet everybody, out there in the internet world. Who knows who's watching? But we're happy to be here and we're happy to share. And if you're interested, like and subscribe to this video and we'll see what we can do. That'd be great.
See you soon.
Thanks, Cynthia. Thanks, Aronde. It's been awesome. And I'm looking forward.